Blumby.
I want to see more action between the two teams. Right
You
now.
want to see a close fight.
I want to
feel it.
see
You
5
want
maps. I was so hyped after the first 2 maps. I was like, oh my god, do we really get all of this? This is amazing.
Here we go.
There we go. All right.
Game number 4. A standard map for
I'm ready.
you.
I'm
So
ready.
hopefully we get a closer series as Dignitas will be setting up for game number 4.
I didn't mind the map. I love the map.
Yeah.
The map is fun.
Just needed a different plan there, as it seemed like the Zagara. It really feels like Zagara was the plan going into it, and they thought that.
I mean, obviously she
Yeah.
was the plan. Everyone knew that. Dignitas too. The thing is just, I don't even know. I don't even think it was Zagara. Like, if Zagara is really so high up on your head that you think this. Okay, let's break this down for a second. There's no way that Team Liquid actually thought that Dignitas doesn't see the Zagara coming.
Sure.
Not with them using it already. So they must have known Zagara is potentially banned out. And there must have been a plan B. And I think that plan B simply got destroyed when both globals were taken away. So I think with the first rotation, when Liquid chose Muradin and Chromie, they screwed up. They needed to either take Zagara that early and drop Muradin and take him later, or they needed to take another global. But with them giving both globals over and then Zagara getting banned because they didn't pick her in the first rotation, they just had no tools anymore. So that plan B just simply didn't include for Dignitas taking all the global heroes and banning Zagara out. And I think that was the big misstep of Team Liquid. Everything after that was just a painful death. Doesn't matter anymore. We are back to business. This is where Team Liquid can redeem themselves on, as you said, a more standard map. We had a great series so far outside of the third map. We have Dignitas now with the lead, so they can clutch this out with a 3-1. And I'm sure no matter what happens here, this is going to be way more of a closer game than what we've seen on map number 3.
Hopefully they can get plan A here. When it comes to Infernal Shrines, Dahaka now they're taken away. Team Liquid will now be in a spot to get the ETC that they've had for the first couple of games where they have been a little bit closer in their fight. So ETC gets picked up right away. Team Dignitas will now have the Uther plus B hero, and it feels like we're not going to have them walk away from the Uther. They seem to really pick it up whenever they get the chance. In terms of trends, they constantly move into it.
It comes, yeah, I mean, it once again comes down to, do you want to allow Team Liquid possibly to get ETC and Uther? And usually the answer to that is no, because it's just too strong. So Bakery, of course, also excels on the hero, but then again, Bakery they love to play their Rega, they like to play their Uther, they can play with Morales, they have the options. It's just, what do you pick away from Liquid? And so far the trend is just, you see ETC on the other side, you pick Uther for yourself in a double support composition, or you use them together with Genji, unless you're absolutely willing to give the combo over to your opponent and you feel your own draft is going to compensate for that.
Is it time for Snitch in his Genji, though? We have yet to get it in this series. Put on a display the last couple of weeks with playing the Genji, putting a lot of credit to it. It's going to be Leo, and this has to be Uther, right? Are they going to switch it up? There it is.
Could have seen Rega as well, if they are okay with the mosh pit, but again, Rega is better for the map, Uther is better for ETC. So Gul'dan taken and Rega, so we have, at least for now, Liquid playing around Leoric. Leoric, again, this is his best map. This is the map where Leoric currently absolutely shines. Overall, he has gotten way stronger. We have seen a lot of Leoric picks in Europe over the entire weekend, as we already predicted on Friday, now with a new patch. Now Leoric even went into the first pick position here for Team Dignitas, and Team Liquid has talked a bit about how they feel you can play around him. One is percentage damage, another one was the idea of Blumby to maybe see if with Sanctification you make something happen, but then you have to be really spot on once you use your Sanks. This is of course a cooldown trade in your opponent's favor, so you have to get value out of it. But Liquid starting off with Gul'dan and Rega plus ETC, that's already a pretty solid beginning of the draft here for them.
When we talked to Blumby the other day, he talked about possible counters that are starting to surface against Leoric. A lot of that has been percent-based damage. The Kerosene 7-sided strike, even the Cursed Bullet from Greymane. Tychus coming in too. And this is a battleground that I could see a Tychus picked up. With the Gul'dan being chosen already, I think that falls a little bit in priority. But with the Odin being available and that minigun percentage damage, maybe we see Tychus here. And Team Liquid was a team that in Phase 1 was the only one running Tychus well enough to actually get a high win rate out.
Yeah. I think the only other team that actually played Tychus quite a bit was the Ducks.
Yeah.
Chris liked to play it too.
True.
So for now, let's find out how Dignitas' ban on Medivh is also interesting. Just trying to make sure that ETC is not going to have too many tools or heroes that can help him to survive here. Liquid banning out Stitches. We have seen Stitches a lot from Dignitas in the past. He's also strong on the map with his slam build overall. That's actually the first map where he was played with a slam build in Europe. Quite successfully at that. And now with Uther in the mix for Dignitas, they just want to make sure that there's no hook into stun into the potential kill. So let's see how Dignitas is going to play this. They're still waiting for the range damage dealer, so neither Snitch, who could now get Genji, nor Mena have a hero just yet. JPL can take his own a little bit later if they want to, because ETC is already taken here.
Yeah, tank roll is pretty open-ended. Nubrak, if you want to go for the dives. Tyrell even too could be great.
Johanna, yeah.
Yeah, Johanna could work here. So I'm expecting that Genji. It just completely opened up. There it is. So Johanna, Genji right away.
Okay, Johanna and Genji, leaving the hero for Mena open. We have seen Kel'Thas by them on this map, so could go into Kel'Thas, but he doesn't have the ETC as the early stun, which they oftentimes try to rely upon, so they were trying to play the Kel'Thas ETC combo, but his own Gul'dan is taken away, so Liquid made a good move using Gul'dan, since not only do they add Gul'dan to their own lineup, which is strong, they have good Gul'dan players, but Mena is known for his Gul'dan and the Horrifies, so in this case they just shut that down as well, and leaving Mena with quite a few other mages that he can still take. But let's see how Liquid rounds out their own draft. Are we going to see Hazos, for example, again on Vala?
Vala could be a choice. I would
as well.
Falstad was a choice I was thinking about for a little bit with Genji coming on. It seems a bit scarier, but they've been favoring that global play lately, and they have played the Falstad against Genji in the past.
I wonder if Malthael is something that they're considering right now. Sonya instead. Sonya and Tass, okay. Tass, I didn't even...
He just falls off occasionally. You just forget about him because he used to be a man every game.
Yeah, it's just like, exactly. For me, Tassada oftentimes in my head is immediately being banned. So it's just like, okay, where did he just come from? So full focus on Sonya with this right now. No auto attack sustained damage dealer. Instead, it's Gul'dan. Well, Sonya is to a certain extent, but not range damage. So Sonya ETC, Gul'dan should have the space here. Tassada, there's a lot of AoE that they have and a lot of shrine presence.
Mage coming in for Dig. You wouldn't go into the no support, right? There's no way. You need more damage here.
Nah, you need damage.
Yeah, you need damage 100%. Kel'Thas has been the #1 pickup lately. Throwing it out there. Jaina's still floating around. Careful against Sonya.
There we go. Jaina finally taken.
Thank you, Mane. Yes!
We've seen a few Jaina games, but very, very rare.
Cool. Well, we're going to see what builds comes in here from Mane. Typically, it's been the Ice Hands build. You can go for the Q and constantly drop it down. Great against Sonya, because she's going to be in your face anyways. You'll make sure to pierce on the backside. But I'm still holding out for that Water Elemental into the Ice Fury Wand. One of my favorite synergies as of late with Jaina. A bit harder to pull off when you have to work in those auto attacks, but still pretty strong.
They have no real CC chain, though, that they can stack for Jaina. But with Jaina now in the mix, it's a question for me if Leoric is actually going away from March of the Black King and drops the Entomb again. Because normally on Infernal Shrines, March of the Black King is kind of the ult that you really want. But if you want to have that set up for Jaina, then you could definitely drop straight into the Entomb and try to use that as a setup.
The Icebox coming in there. Good against Gul'dan, too. As he does have the ability to pop out until level 20. So going into game number 4 here, we have Dignitas up with a lead 2-1 as they shut out the Probius on Brox's holdout. Will we be able to have Team Liquid come back in game number 4? So far, the draft looks pretty good here. They're able to clear out shrines pretty well. They have the great area effect damage, and they have their own CC, too.
Yeah, I mean, no matter who wins this, the only thing that I want is a close game. And I think we're way more likely to see this than from the series, or from the match that happened on Brax's holdout. So in game 1, game 2, both teams were absolutely on equal footing. We saw intense games and cool fights. Third game falling off a little bit, but let's see how the fourth game is going to shape up, because I feel right now this could be another intense one.
The good news about game 3 is you get to learn at home how important draft can be and how important certain heroes are. If you aren't able to get into a certain slot, you just fall off dramatically in terms of power spike, and you kind of got that with that Probius there. And you get a feeling of why they're not played as often currently in the HGC. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 4. The map Infernal Shrines. If Dignitas can win, they qualify for BlizzCon. Team Liquid looking to tie it up.
Game number 4, Team Dignitas is in the lead with Bakery now on Uther to the left side, JPL on Johanna. We're seeing Mena on Jaina. The Frost Mage is back. Snitch has time to show off his Genji plays, and Zelia is on Leoric.
On the right side in the red, it will be Splendor playing Rhaegar, Darkmok on Sonya, Hasu Obs will play Tassadar, Blumby on ETC, and Nurhawk will be your Gul'dan.
Yep, Nurok on Gul'dan here right now, so let's see if he can also have that massive impact with his Horrifies once again, because that is kind of what they need in this game. But this is definitely going to be a bit more of an intense one. So again, Leoric's power spikes laid on 13-16, so we have to be a little bit careful when we're on Team Liquid side here. The AoE for them is strong. Early pressure, early snowball attempts, that's currently what they would love to achieve. And we're going to find out if they can make that work. Because so far, let's face it, Dignitas, at least in the third map, has really lived up to the hype. They struggled a bit in Game 1, Game 2. Won one of the both. But overall, Dignitas is, of course, still the team that is highly favored in the series. And they are definitely one of the best teams that we have in Europe at this point.
Is this a dead Sonya? Ooh, the nice turnaround from Darkmog. Bringing the spear to dodge down to Snitch and be able to get away and get closer to Tassadar there. And talk about Gina for a second. Do remember that she has that new quest available. 15,000 damage on chilled targets, and she will be able to get Ice Block unlocked. Already here we have 500 damage popping out for that Gina. Typically you see it around the 14 to 16 minute mark. Seen it earlier, but a good average is based around then. Getting that Ice Block gives you that nice little power tool to be able to use that for a dive coming your way or to outplay your opponent.
Yeah, so right now we have also, in terms of talents, a focus on Storm for Tassadar, a lot of AoE here, with also the Echoed Corruption, Lightning Shield as the standard, pretty much on any map actually by now. Very few Rega players go away from it. Very rarely do we actually see still the Colossal Totem taken to get some synergy with a level 16, but normally you're really opting for the additional damage, especially on a map where the objective itself is dependent on the AoE damage.
First Shrine is activating, and it will be down to the south, and our teams are primed to move in. Genji is in the middle area, thinking about possibly going to the top and putting some pressure on that Sonya. But it looks like with Darkmog playing safe and having that Warpaint being nice and healthy, he'll play safe there and not go for the engage. Both teams racing towards level 4, as you typically will see as you set up for the Shrine, and we're going to have our first fight.
Yeah, we have the entire time a bit of poke happening here, and especially from Liquid's for Dignitas' perspective, it's also interesting that they leave the top lane consistently. So Sonya has time to burn another wave down, but with the Shrine now being active, they of course have to move down and make sure that they're fighting over this. Liquid is the one who would really love to take this early ones, but so much damage from Jaina here already, really utilizing those small choke points and the AoE damage that she can bring in. The death of Gul'dan is starting this off for Team Dignitas in quite strong fashion here.
Mene is in trouble. Power Slide comes out, and he's going to get lower and lower. Bakery gives out a heal. Blizzard will be dropped. Can they close Splinter? They do. Snitch goes in. Does not hit the strike, though, so he's not going to get the reset. Darkmog is the next target as Bakery continues to chase him down, and Darkmog falls to Dignitas, trading out 1 for 2.
Snitch is just starting to be the janitor of the game right now. Everybody else is dropping low, and Snitch is just rushing from one hero to another. It's like, I got it, boys, I got it. Gets a kill to the left, rushes to the right, gets the second. So they are doing well. Dignitas definitely with a great start into the game here. 3 kills against 1. They will also claim the first Punisher, and they have already taken a slight lead in experience, which is only going to increase once that they are able to move with the Punisher through the lane.
Right now they're setting up, getting everyone nice and topped off before they push in with that Punisher on the bottom side. Looking for an opportunity to get a catch. Also, even moving in here for the Goatmen. You can get them pushing on the bottom side. Top needs to be careful as Team Liquid goes for a pick. Can they grab Zelia? He does have to drain Hope first so he can heal up and is attempting to escape.
Yeah, Zelia might be able to get away from this, but it's going to be close. And no, with Splendor darting in and already slowing him, they at least get the kill. Nurok has taken damage down here, and the Punisher, the sidewall is open, so Dignitas move through. Therefore, the Punisher gets some extra value, and Dignitas is going to get a fort even with the first Punisher. Really well done. And all of this just simply because they drained the ammunition on the towers early, opened the sidewall, and then moved through, and were able to get now massive value through this. Slight lead in experience, nothing too crazy yet, because Liquid gets some experience on their own up at the top lane, but overall, Dignitas has for sure taken the lead.
Gul'dan been struggling against that Genji. A Snitch keeps getting on top of him, constantly putting him down at half health. It's one of the reasons why when Genji got really popular in the MSB, we saw Mage play fall off pretty hard. If you don't have the mobility, you just can't contest that Genji that's coming your way. So Team Liquid will have to make sure that they keep Nurok alive, that they peel back.
And they steal the camp away, so Liquid gets the camp for now. Also, with Genji, Falstad disappearing from a lot of the drafts was one of the reasons. Genji was one of the reasons why that happened, because he pressured the backline so hard. It's also just in general, like a lot of the heroes were so afraid of Genji. These days, it's mostly the Genji Uther combo that you're afraid of. Genji by himself is oftentimes getting countered quite hard and cannot really go as deep. So if you can deny Uther to your opponent, then Genji play is becoming a bit less likely. Mages overall have started to appear a bit more again. And especially with control heroes like ETC, you have some tools that you can use against Genji when they go in without a Divine Shield.
Yeah, that level 7 talent nerf really helped out a lot with being able to at least punish a Genji that may push a little bit too far. The block charges that had 3 of them was a little too much. Team Liquid, for now, after losing a fort, is still in this game. A little bit behind in experience, but starting to get traction as they grab mercenary camps, getting top lane pushing out, and will be in a spot where they can contest the next shrine, but only for a limited amount of time, as Team Dignitas is well on their way towards 10.
Yeah, at this point, Liquid is not even going to move for the shrine. Not if they're getting close to 10. If you know that you can't get the shrine anyways, then you might as well split out on the remaining lanes and try to take some structures down at least. So Splendor is already attempting to time this properly. They have 2 heroes up at the shrine to control it. Sonya is taking the experience at the top lane. We see Nuruk in the middle for XP and Testada as the bottom. Dignitas now hitting level 10. That's when now the camp is taken by Liquid, and now they're going to just try and get enough experience for their own level 10. And they're actually going to be getting that quite fast with Tassadar at the bot and now Blumby up here at the top, because they are aiming for the structures, as expected. So we are seeing them pushing heavily at the bot lane, only Blumby is at the top. So Dignitas is reacting by leaving Leoric on the shrine, trying to get some minion stacks, and the rest of the team is mirroring Team Liquid's movements at the bot lane, going straight for the structures here top.
It's going to be a Ring of Frost for the Jaina instead of the Water Elemental. The cooldown was reduced, but the combo available, and still Yorick has yet to pick his Heroic, which is starting to really feed into your theory of possible Entomb.
Yeah, that's definitely. He has both options at this point. They can really decide what he wants to do. But with Ring of Frost taken, if you go Entomb, then you have that setup for the combo. So Leoric normally plays with March of the Black King, but if you have a setup for just such a shot combo and getting the burst damage in, then it's always very tempting to try and get that Entomb, get the setup for Jaina, and that is likely what they are going to do here. But as we said, he still has options.
The option for Dignitas if you're getting the Punisher is to push down the middle lane, and they'll take it. They run straight on in, already clearing it out, working on the minions, getting the fort, and can get through this and get to a Keith wall. Team Liquid a bit slow to setting up for defense as they were trying to make sure that they can get back home safely.
March of the Black King has been chosen, so I'm not putting all of the eggs into the Bombo basket here. The Punisher still moving in, and all 3 forts are now destroyed on Liquid's side. In experience, they are still holding on though, and that is the really important part, because the goal for Liquid has to be not losing heroes now, not getting snowballed, stay in experience range, make sure that you get your 13 for the next big fight. That's the idea now. They know that Dignitas is 100% going to hit 13 for the next fight or for the Punisher. And Liquid is now just staying roughly a level behind them. They are very, very likely to hit the level 13 talent around the same time. And then they have to try and force a bit of a team fight here.
Zilly is dead, as he stays up a little bit too long in the top lane, clearing it out for that experience. Will attempt to escape, shouldn't be up in time, turns around even with a March of the Black King just to survive a little bit longer, buying time for his teammates to work on the mercs on the bottom side as the call was made, and Dignitas with these mercs will be able to move towards 13.
Yeah, the mercenary camps are so... The problem is Liquid can't take them, but they're so early that they will be defeated quite easily before they have any real impact. In an ideal world, when you could time those camps whenever you wanted, you would of course always try to time them properly with an objective, so that your opponent has to either waste time with a mercenary camp and miss out on time that they could work on the objective, or let the camp just simply push the lane when they're focusing on the objective instead. Here, on the other hand, comes that Ring of Frost, and that could be the end of Blumby. ETC goes down, the Ancestral does not hit in time. And yeah, that was quite the move by Dignitas. Really well done, and a great setup that we just saw from JPL with a quick Blessed Shield, immediately follow up by Mana.
Gonna go head home there, heal on up, and also get some more mana. Has 5,000 damage on his quest right now. Moving towards that 15,000 to unlock the Ice Block. His level 1, 2 also has 17 of the 20 Regen Globes that he will need. 13 is going to be the Icy Vein, so going to be able to keep shelling out constant abilities as the cooldowns will recharge much faster.
So Liquid has lost all 3 forts. They have lost their towers in 2 lanes now, so the keeps are open. At this point, Liquid needs to go for a fight and they need to win it. They have no global, so they can't play around the opponent. They have no macro play, which means that if they lose out on the Punisher right now, they are likely to lose a keep. And even if they don't lose the keep, Dignitas will walk away with an even bigger lead in experience. So this is really the big battle you have to win. If you don't win this one, the next one is going to be on level 16 on for your opponent, where you are probably not even 13 yet. So either they win now, or there's a good chance they're getting snowballed. And with Gul'dan instantly dying, not even using the Horrify, Liquid's chances to win this game in the series have just now completely tanked.
The mosh pit comes out, but it's not enough. Some members are low, Zelia and Mane, but they turn around and keep putting damage in. Darkmok can't find a kill quite yet. JPL with the massive condemn will pull members in.
Nice.
The Ring of Frost comes out, locks down Blumby with the Blizzard falling up as well. Snitch dives in and almost gets caught out. The spear, though, missing.
Dignitas is making such great setups here. It's absolutely fantastic. The insta-kill against Gul'dan was so beautiful, and it was perfect from their point of view. Now they also have the entire time the setups of JPL, even outside of the Blessed Shield, just with the Condemn alone, making setups for Mane. And it's a bit of a miracle that Liquid only walked away with 1 kill against them. Now the Punisher has been taken, and now the scenario that I painted a bit earlier is coming to play, where Dignitas might not get the keep, they're likely to get it, but maybe Liquid is able to defend it with Horrify and a couple of big ults still available, but it's going to be level 16, and that's the big problem. 16 against 14, a 2-level lead, so the question is, can Team Liquid even get 16 before the next shrine is being fought over? And even if they do, in the meantime, Dignitas can just completely dictate the pace of the game. Can take every single mercenary camp, can push them out, can set traps, because there's no way for Liquid to openly engage into a battle since they have such a huge talent disadvantage.
And it gets worse too. The 16 pickup for Jaina, Northern Exposure. Reducing armor when you hit the counter cold. It's usually the root that we've seen, but I've heard a lot of this talent is being picked up due to the new Jaina being out.
There's a trap. I love the spell shield. There's a trap, Blessed Shield being used, and goodbye Gul'dan. Once again dead, great setup. JPL with a Blessed Shield, immediately following it up, and now they can pressure this in even more. But I love the spell shield adjustment for Sonya. At this point, I'm not quite sure if it ever will come into a point where it's really going to make a huge difference, because so far Dignitas is playing this just too well. But I love that with now Jaina being in the mix and the tools that Dignitas is using, the adjustment is being made by Sonya immediately to go for Spell Shield, just to make sure that those combos can be survived. I think this is one of the cool things about Heroes of the Storm, that depending on what your opponent drafts, you can make adjustments for just this one specific game where you say, hey, to survive here, to counter this, I need to adjust my normal build and go into a different tower.
If only she could give that spell shield to Gul'dan, who has been picked off a couple of times. Now,
yeah, that would be pretty good.
We did have Fel Armor get picked up by our Gul'dan, but still so far it has not been enough. Team Liquid will have 1 more to 2 more chances here before it gets really rough for them. They're about to hit level 16. At least they still have their keeps up. But again, you were talking about them needing to win a shrine last time. I would say they need to do so more now here as we head into the next one.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Dignitas hasn't taken a keep yet, as we said, and Liquid has level 16. It's actually a bit impressive that Dignitas has not taken a keep on yet. They were waiting at the top lane for a long time to get that 1 kill and then couldn't really do anything with it. This is another big fight, 2 levels behind now for Team Liquid. They have gotten 3 kills, 6 for Dignitas, but Liquid has another chance. I expected them to be at this point even farther behind, but with a victory in this battle, they have a shot here. The big problem is that with level 16 talents on both sides, the power spikes have hit for Dignitas. There's at least all that AoE that we're seeing, and the one thing is Nurok has to be saved this time. They need to save Nurok, and that's what they're trying to do here right now. In the last 2 fights, he was the target immediately, and they insta-sniped him.
He's being careful on the top right side, dancing back and forth. There is a Merc camp pushing in for Dignitas, so they don't mind delaying this. They would love to take the Punisher, if possible. JPL holding the front side with Snitch poking where he can. Darkmok finally stepping up here to control the shrine and clear out minions. We're tied 27 to 27.
Hazorps using his dimensional shift already early, super afraid from those combos. Here comes the combo, Divine Shield being used, and so is, of course, Mosh Pit. The kill against Rhaegar. He got the Ancestral through, though. Jaina down as the counter kill, but Blumby is about to fall. That's the 2-for-1 trade in favor of Dignitas as they are going for Nurok now. He's trying to escape, goes for the drain, keeps himself alive for a little bit longer, but it's another immortal for Team Dignitas. Sonya is dead as well. Nurok is on the run. The camp at the top lane is nearly taking out the keep itself. Genji finishes off Gul'dan, and this is just a disaster for Team Liquid. Strong performance in game 1 and 2, but starting with map 3, they are falling apart.
There goes the keep. But the Punisher barreling down middle lane. Team Dignitas can put their eyes towards the core. Team Liquid will have a few members spawning soon. Oh no, Tacit are getting picked off as well. Staggering deaths coming in. The Punisher about to hop in a couple seconds too. A second keep will fall. And Dignitas, moving closer to level 20, will have a 3-level lead over their opponents, and they're going to utilize it here to push in and force another fight. They're going to kill Rhaegar again, and that's going to be core.
Yeah, Rhaegar is down, and Dignitas, they were the favorite heading into the series. Liquid made it quite intense and exciting in the first 2 maps, but then starting with Braxis, Dignitas showed up in force, and now they are finishing the series. A 3-1 victory for Team Dignitas against Team Liquid, and they claim their spot at BlizzCon.
Dignitas and Fnatic, your 2 teams that will be going from Europe as they have qualified. So already very exciting. We'll find one more team in the next couple of weeks here with playoffs right around the corner for our 3rd slot. But Dignitas said they bring their A game today, and that game 3 and game 4, their A game shut down anything Team Liquid attempted to bring out.
I'm really happy that Dignitas made it for the 2nd spot. They are... Again, they had a problem at the Western Clash not qualifying, but they showed ever since that they are just one of the top teams in Europe, that they will contest and also rival Fnatic. The series against Fnatic they had right after the Western Clash, where they took 2 maps, they should have arguably won it. Fnatic had a miracle defense on Battlefield of Eternity, and right now having those 2 teams already represent Europe at the HGC finals at BlizzCon is going to be absolutely fantastic. Liquid showed up stronger today than expected on the first 2 maps. They had a very bad draft for the 3rd map and therefore lost. And then on the 4th map, it was just Dignitas playing again a bit too strong.
Yeah.
But overall, I feel Liquid has made a step forward again. If we measure their performance here in this series and over the entire weekend, not only in this particular match, against what we've seen in the previous 2 weeks, I think Liquid was for sure a bit stronger. So if they continue that path, then the playoffs are definitely a place where they have a chance to make that argument for them going to BlizzCon as the 3rd seed. But of course, as every single team has stated so far, the playoffs are going to be a bit crazy.
They will be, and we'll get to those soon. But for now, we must congratulate Bakery from Dignitas here, as you have now qualified for BlizzCon. Congratulations!
Yeah, man, it feels really good. It's been our goal this entire year. It's every single time we go, it's the best time of our lives. So we're all really happy. There's a lot of screaming in the TeamSpeak, and
Tell us, how gratifying is it after the Western Clash? Unfortunately, we couldn't see you guys there. You came out swinging the week 1 after the Western Clash, and every single week since then, you guys have been disciplined and showing great play. How gratifying is it to come over here and get this win?
I don't think, although we didn't go to Western Clash, I don't think we ever thought that we weren't good enough to. It's just we made mistakes, and that's what cost us that. So we were never too worried, or we were never like disappointed in ourselves that we were a bad team. So it just felt really good to have a break and then come back, and we knew this is our path. These are the teams we need to beat. This is how we're going to prepare. And with our coaches, well, we've worked really hard. So it's a great feeling of almost relief to just finally get the win.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you at BlizzCon. Over to Caldor.
So first of all, congratulations. You guys are going to represent Europe. I'm super looking forward to it, to have you and Fnatic, and then, of course, our 3rd team over there. The first 2 maps, on the other hand, were looking a bit closer than I expected. Team Liquid showed up, and you guys really struggled to find that flow. I feel both of the first 2 maps could have gone either way. It ended up with a split, but did you expect the first 2 maps to be this close?
We definitely weren't going to underestimate Team Liquid, and as always, like I said in the pre-game interview, they're a fantastic team. So we were slightly scared. We came into it, we decided to play like a draft where we felt it was really hard for us to lose the game, just to try and like play it safe. And obviously, as it turned out, although it did seem quite hard for us to lose, it was also very, very hard to win. A few mistakes cost us a lot in that game. And obviously, we ended up not clearing 3 catapults to actually put our core down to like almost 30%, I think. So that was a big one. But Yeah, it just felt like the second game as well. There was one big miscommunication in the top lane where we try and go for like this weird fight, and then some people were like backing out, some people were going in. We like miss a combo, and then I go in. It just gets super weird, and we kind of throw the game there. So we didn't feel discouraged from the second game, but the first definitely put us on alert.
Yeah, they got pretty close there. I mean, on map 3, you guys completely outdrafted them and just outplayed them on the map then, and carried the momentum into the fourth map. So overall, how do you guys feel from a power level perspective right now? Not only within Europe. Let's argue, for example, talk for a second how you feel going up against maybe Fnatic, and also how do you see Europe currently measuring up against the other regions?
I would put us on the same tier as Fnatic. I think in Phase 2, Part 2, when we played them, we showed that we could have taken the Series 3-1. They were the better team on the day, but I think it definitely could have been us walking away with the victory there. So I would put us on that same level. In terms of Korea, we've seen MVP Black be very dominant in the online league, but their consistent issue of they choke when it matters the most at the Eastern Clash happened again, and 05 with their new roster actually won that. So we'll keep our eye on Korea. I do think they will be stronger than they were coming into the mid-season brawl, but I definitely think that Europe will still have the edge on them. And I think us and Fnatic can place first and second again.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, speaking about you and Fnatic, you guys are both qualified for BlizzCon, but there is one more slot. Who do you have your eye on to get that slot to go to BlizzCon?
It's honestly a real toss-up. Like, Zealots, obviously, this week, they didn't look amazing, but there were a lot of good flashes, and when they're back to full strength with their full roster, they're a definite contender. Tricked is having a lot of issues right now, but we all saw in Phase 1 how much they stepped up for playoffs, and they arguably should have beaten Expert even, and they would have given us a run for money for sure. So those two, although people kind of counted out, you definitely got to keep an eye on them. And then the two big dogs is Expert and Liquid. As we saw today, it really does look like Liquid are back. Been struggling the past few weeks, but against TGG and us, they did look very strong. And Expert, you might say, have been trending downwards since the Western Clash. So it really is a complete toss-up. My money would be on Expert,
Okay.
but it could be anyone.
Well, looking forward to the playoffs. It'll be in a couple of weeks, but for now, you get to sit home and celebrate this week as you are now qualified for BlizzCon Bakery. Before I let you go, any final words?
So shout outs to all the fans who cheered for us, and also all the fans who cheered for us using HGC cheer. We really appreciate it. Thanks to all the people who were hanging out on my Discord and on Reddit cheering us on as well. Huge shout out to my team. We worked really hard for this, and we're really proud of ourselves that we can make it to BlizzCon again. And yeah, shout out to Team Liquid and all of our sponsors.
Congratulations to Dig. They get a big win today over Team Liquid with a 3-1. And we're going to see them at the HGC Finals. We're getting closer and closer, inch and inch, to finally seeing that BlizzCon in November.
Yeah, I'm happy for Dignitas being there, but to be honest, every single time I hear the sentence Team Liquid, it looks like they are back. If I would get $1 every time I hear that sentence, I could double the prize pool for BlizzCon.
Yeah, double the prize pool? That's maybe a bit of a stretch.
Do you think so? Think about it.
Yeah.
It's ever since Phase 1. Since
I wouldn't give you that much money. I would say you've made about $7, but we'll say around
come
there.
on.
They've said
Way
a few
more
times.
than that. It's a lot of coffee. Let's just
go.
put it that way.
That's true. Let's go ahead and look at the standings here. We've gotten an update.